Hello, welcome to this video. Today we're looking at Canva. So like lots of other tools, Canva has come out with some built-in AI in the form of their Magic Studio. And you can either click on Magic Studio and go through and access it that way, or you can just use the 5-word option there. So you can see we've got the variety of different things you can do. For those of you not familiar with Canva, it's a superb graphic creating tool, and you can create all sorts of different things from social media posts, presentations, videos, the whole lot. If you want to know a bit about using their whiteboard feature, then click on the banner in the top right hand corner and I've got a video on how you can use whiteboard. Very quickly, whiteboard's a great alternative to Google Jamboard. So if you're looking to find something else in place of Google Jamboard, then have a go at using Canva whiteboard. But today, instead of going through all of the other educational bits that you can see down here, I thought I'd focus just on the use the 5 words and specifically related to presentations. Let's just do a quick run through then. So they've got a whole education section on the pricing, and I try not to go into too much on the pricing. For education, there's a free tool. You need to evidence that you are an educator by sending them some proof of ID and teaching, etc. But there's lots of various options for those of us not in education, various pricing options as well. So I've got a free account here. And you can see down the left hand side we've got projects, templates, brand, which is only available with premium. That crown signals that there's a premium feature, and then you've got the ability to create a team, and then we've got the various things we can create here. So if we want to create a custom size document, we can click custom size, and then we've got the option of other things we can create, from documents, whiteboards, presentations, Instagram posts and stories, Facebook posts, posters. You can see there's a whole variety of different things you can create. So as I said, we're going to look specifically at the presentation feature. So we'll click create blank, and then what we can come up and do is come up and use the 5 words. So you can see I've used it historically already. So I've used it for introduction to formative assessment. So what I can do is I can either enter some new words, or I can select the words that are there. Ideas. Let's put it in. So put strategies for behaviour management in the classroom. Have I got my 5 words? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Oh, let's change that around. Classroom behaviour management. I'll get rid of all of those bits. And then we'll hit enter. So take a moment. And you can see it's starting to create the stuff there. You can see it's currently in beta, and you can see there's various different options there. So we've got different elements there. So we can see we've got 1 of 7, and they're different designs. So if you can scroll through them to find the design you like the look of. If you want to view them, you can click onto them and it will give you a preview, so you can see how it's suggested content and how to lay it out. And you can see it's created 7 slides for me. If I like those, I can click either apply selected page, or I can apply all 7 pages. If I don't like that design, I can look at some of the other designs. So let's go with this one. And again, you can see we've got the layout there. We can apply all 7 pages. And then what we can do is we can go through and start to edit it just like we would with any Canva design. So we can go in and we can change the background. Now there are themes linked to this particular one, but if we decide we're not going for that earthy brown look, then we can choose any color. And we've got the ability to use the pick color tool, and that will allow us to go anywhere within our desktop to pick a color, or we can just pick something from maybe an image we've got somewhere or wherever we want. So we can use whatever we want as a source, which is quite useful. Or we can just literally click a space within the color bar and then drag the selection to that particular bit. So we made that blue, and you can see you've got different elements, and what you can do, you can right click on the element and you can bring it forward and send it back. So you can start to arrange all of the elements. So we've got a picture there, which we may want to change. At the moment, it's got watermarks because I've got a free account. So we could replace that picture. Before we do that, we can add alternate text. We can detach image. So we've detached the image, we can delete that. And that's just a placeholder now. So we could insert another image into that. So if we go down to elements, we could find an image and add the image by dragging and dropping it into the frame. So we've added a picture in there, but you can see in elements we've got lots of different options, and just like with the other things, you'll see some of these are free and some of them will have a little gold crown on them, which determines that they are chargeable. So to add any of those things, we can literally just click and it will add it. We can then, as you would in any presentation tool, you can move it around, you can move it forwards and backwards, you can come up the top. As you add an element, it brings in this menu here, so we can change the color. So again, we'll come into the blues and I'll make it maybe a slightly darker blue. And then we can pick up the handles and we can stretch that. And we can maneuver that where we want that to be. So we can make that a box behind the image. So you can start to see how we can start to inform that. At the moment, each is on for 5 seconds. We can see we've got the Canva assistant here. So we click on that. You can see we've got different things that we can do. So we could go to suggested layouts and it will provide us alternative layouts. So very similar to the designer feature in PowerPoint, we can alter the layout. We could, if we wanted maybe to change the wording of that, we could just select it and we could do summarize text and ask it to do that. But we can go through and work out what we're doing. So we can add presenter notes. We can alter the duration, as I've said. We can set up a timer. We can change to a grid view if we want to look at all of the slides that we've got. And then you'll find if you jump out of it, you can come back in, you'll see them in recent designs. So there we have it there. So in order to rename it, I can just position the cursor where it says untitled and rename that. I can then open that up there. So you can go through and making all the changes you want. So elements, just to quickly finish off, we've got AI image generation as well. So we could say classroom with students. Now, I've not given it the best description. As with all prompts on AI, much better if you give it a more detailed description. But you can see there's a progress bar down the bottom, and we've got some images there that we could then use. So we've got some examples. We could find one that we want and we could add that to our presentation. So very quickly we can start to create a really useful presentation. We've got the images that we can create using the image function. We've got the design and the slides that we use with the 5 words at the start. And then we've got the Canva assistant that's helping us to modify and adapt any of our text and any of our slides. When you're happy with the final thing, you've got share options. So you can go to download and just download it as a PDF. Or if you go back and go to more, then you've got the option to download it as a PowerPoint or as a save it to Google Drive. And then you can hit download. Now, if there are premium images and you can see it's showing you what the premium things are, then you'll either have to pay for those or you have to remove those to download it for free, or you need to sign up for a premium account. But I think the new AI features, certainly within the presentation tool, allows you to do so much. I particularly like the Magic Media and the ability to create images. So all within the elements, you can find those. I think it's a really useful tool and a great way for ideas, getting ideas on what you want to say in a lesson. As with any AI content, you need to check it all thoroughly, make sure it's all correct and appropriate. But as a starter for 10, it's a great way to start with a presentation. So I hope you found the video useful. If you did, remember to subscribe to the channel and join me again soon for more EdTech videos. Thanks for watching.